So Woolworths is a combination of a food and clothing retailer operating in South Africa and Australia. And of course, just to remind you, we're talking about the online elements of Woolworths here.
It has a market cap of 86.2 billion rand, a PE ratio of 19.2 and a dividend yield of 3.4%.
Devin, before we start this conversation, I want to put the share price graph up because I just want to get an update on what has happened to Woolworths of late.
So yeah, a bit of a dip since end of last year. You probably trading 25% lower than where we were sitting. A company like this always trades at a premium. Fantastic retailer, huge offshore revenues coming through now from the Australian acquisitions. So it's never cheap, as with a lot of these quality companies. So we've got to look seriously at the price it is now and see if that is an investment opportunity.
Is the South African consumer, this element of defensive South African consumer in the upper LSM, actually holding up?
Well, I think the share price does tell that story. They are concerned about the South African consumer because you will get a lot of people sort of on the periphery between shopping at Woolworths and shopping at Pick n Pay. And, when times are tough, they do downscale and they do sort of go look at other options.
Okay, so do you shop at Woolworths?
Yes.
Do you shop at Woolworths?
Yes.
Have you been conscious of your pricing when you get to the till?
I think you've always got to be conscious, but I guess
I've been taking certainly more cognizance of what a basket of goods is costing me, and I'm a Woolworths shopper. I am being a little bit more cautious.
I think the justification comes where you think you really do feel like you're paying up for quality. Those bananas are going to last an extra few days. I guess it's probably a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I still think when we talk about Woolworths, we probably focus a bit too much on the grocery side. It's still the clothing is where the sort of cream is.
Clothing is still big. But I mean, Woolworths themselves have identified that they see the consumer being a lot more muted and under pressure. So price is going to be a focus for them in their strategy and trying to compete.
And I've taken you completely off track because I said we were going to talk about the online retailing, and then I took you into a completely different discussion. So let's go to online retailing.
Small part of the business. Still a fantastic retailer, very diversified geographically now. Almost half the revenues are coming from Australasia.
Do you use it? Do you use the online element?
Funny enough, my wife does. So, I want to own these shares as a hedge just against her spend. So, no, she does. It's a good online experience.
It's a good, and do you use the online?
Well, I'm at the time of my life where a lot of my friends are getting married. So they put their sort of registries at the Woolies home section, and then you go and you can do that. And obviously as a Woolies shareholder, when the registry options come up, I go straight to the Woolworths one because I'm a shareholder.
So, and
it's a great experience.
And it's a great experience. So in other words, you don't use the online retailing platform?
Not for the groceries and stuff, but I do feel, if they will start pushing that, I do think it's coming.
Let's go hot or not.
Hot for me?
Hot.
Yes, definitely hot, especially at these lower levels.